Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G, and it's that time of the month again. Yes, it is Horror Pack, this time for March 2022. Now, once again, Horror Pack is a monthly subscription service where you can either get DVDs for $19.99 a month reoccurring, or you can get Blu-rays for $24.99 a month reoccurring. All right, let's get this sucker open. And let's see what Horror Pack has given us for March 2022. All right, DVD number one is going to be The Moth Diaries. Every girl has her secrets. From the director of American Psycho. Let's see. 16-year-old Rebecca, haunted by her poet father's suicide, records her innate thoughts in a diary, most of them centered on her best friend and roommate Lucy. But when a dark and mysterious new girl, Ernessa, arrives at the school, everyone's world is turned upside down. Uh-oh. Suddenly, there's a rash of grisly deaths on campus. Lucy and Ernest become inseparable, and Rebecca begins to believe that the porcelain-skinned newcomer is a vampire who is draining Lucy of life. Based upon Rachel Klein's novel and written for the screen and directed by Mary Herron, who did American Psycho, The Moth Diaries is an eerie and suspenseful golf tale which fantasy and reality bleed together into a walking nightmare. Yes, yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know how much I love vampires. So, DVD number one is The Moth Diary. And now, DVD number two is going to be In Their Skin. In Their Skin. This one has Summer Blair in this one. What would you do to be perfect? Let's see. After a tragic accident, Mark and Mary Hughes retreat to their vacation home in the woods with their son. Their family is awoken early the next morning by their new neighbors, Bobby and Jane Sokowski, who invite themselves over for dinner. Why? You didn't ask? You can't just invite yourself over to dinner. What starts out as a merely awkward evening quickly unravels as Bobby's questions become intrusive and his envy of the Hugheses turns into an aggression. As matters escalate, it becomes clear that there is no limit to what Bobby will do to get what Mark and Mary have, and ultimately the couple's will to survive will be put to the test. Pretty interesting. I like the upside down thing that they have here. So, DVD number two, In Their Skin. And now, DVD number three is going to be Last Girl Standing. Ooh, what happens after the horror movie? 5 years after a mass killer brutally murdered her closest friends, Cameron, the lone survivor, struggles to reclaim her shattered life. Though seemingly suffering from paranoid delusions, Cameron reluctantly starts hanging out with Nick, a newcomer, and his tight-knit social circle. But just when she thinks she might already have finally started anew, Carolyn's past comes back to haunt her. Part slasher movie, part character study, Last Girl Standing is a thrilling exploration what happens to the final girls of horror movies. Interesting tape because, what does happen after the horror movie's over and the final girl who lives? What is her life like? How does she suffer? What does she go through? Does she start anew? Does she get new friends? Or is she always cautious? Pretty interesting. New take on the horror slasher. I've never seen this before, but DVD number three is Last Girl Standing. And finally, DVD number four is Darling. Pollyanna McIntosh. You know, that woman that played in the horror movies. I think it was called The Offspring, and then I think it was The Woman. I think it was The Woman or Woman. Yeah, she was pretty good in those movies, too. Don't mess with Mother's Nature. Uh-oh, I don't think you want to mess with her. Found in a Catholic hospital, filthy and ferocious, feral teenager Darling is whisked off to a care home run by the bishop and his obedient nuns, where she is tamed into a little girl. Uh-oh. However, Darling holds a secret darker than the sins she's treated with, and she is not traveling alone. The woman, equally fierce and feral, who raised her, is ever present and is determined to come for her no matter who tries to step in her way. Yeah, I believe this is a continuation of the story between the offspring and the woman that Molly McIntosh. And remember her; she was in The Walking Dead and in the Walking Dead Worlds Beyond. She's that same character that was in the Walking Dead, and she eventually came over to the Walking Dead Worlds Beyond. So I think she's a pretty good actress because she was okay in The Walking Dead. I kind of liked her character, and she really does a pretty good job of being one of the antagonists in The Walking Dead Worlds Beyond. Yes, continuing the twisted, vicious adventures of Lucky McKee's cult hit The Woman, Darling sees standout star Polly McIntosh both in both in front of the camera, behind the camera, expertly commanding all-consuming feast of the senses and sensibility of equal measure. So DVD number 4 is Darling. So here we go. We have DVD number 1 is The Moth Diaries. DVD number 2 is In Their Skin. DVD number 3 is Last Girl Standing. And DVD number 4 is Darling. Some interesting choices here for Horror Pack this month. A lot of female power in this one. I mean, it is Women's Month, this particular month of March. So, actually, yeah, pretty good how Horror Pack got this set up this Horror Pack here. But I'm really interested to see this one. I'm actually interested to see all 4 of them. So don't be surprised if you see me review all 4 of these movies. So there you have it, my horror fans. That is my video for today. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a like and share. And share because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.